This week on BOI Weekly.
Oh, give back him, give back him.
It's no longer news that Nollywood is the second largest film industry in the world, based on the number of movies it churns out yearly, grossing approximately $250 million annually.
Business.
All of these success came without a parallel and functional structure in the sector. A missing link that cost the industry about 50% of its revenue yearly due to piracy.
90% of the people that are distributing were all pirates. They were pirating foreign films, Indian films, Chinese films, and American films. That was what they were dubbing and selling. There was no Nigerian content.
In a bid to help move the sector forward, the Bank of Industry is supporting the creative industry by funding anti-piracy initiatives. It has also helped to fund one of the largest compact disc manufacturing companies in Africa.
With about 14 CD lines and 3 DVD lines, with a capacity to produce about 300,000 CDs a day and about 80,000 DVDs a day. And this is in addition to having our own mastering in-house. That as at today, we can actually manufacture CD or replicate CDs from the beginning to the end.
When we come back from this short break, I'll be speaking with the CEO of G Media, Gabriel Okoye, one of Nollywood's foremost movie distributors, who, among others, is championing the anti-piracy initiative. I'm Adeshewa Josh.
In the agricultural sector, due to limited processing and preservation capacity. This results in high food prices and food importation, with its attendant effects on the nation's foreign reserves. To enable Nigerians optimize the benefits from the country's vast agricultural products such as cassava, oil palm, rice, tomatoes, and others, the Bank of Industry has launched a 5 billion naira cottage agro-processing fund, the CAP Fund. Customers can access the fund to establish plants to process our various agro-produce into food products or intermediate raw materials for industries at a single-digit interest rate of 9% per annum. For more information on the CAP Fund, please visit www.boinigeria.com/capfund. Bank of Industry, developing Nigeria's agro-processing industry through the CAP Fund.
The need to create local content in the Nigerian creative industry became profound when the federal government introduced the Structural Adjustment Program, popularly known as SAP. One of many effects it had was that foreign films could no longer be brought legally into the country. This put a big strain on local marketers of this trade, who would normally dub these movies on VHS and sell to the general public. Thankfully, it also began to make Gabriel Okoye, an electronic merchant turned movie distributor, the CEO of Gaboski Media, a fully integrated independent film company with divisions devoted to the production, post-production and marketing in Nigeria, to begin to look inwards.
We in the electronics sector that we are selling VHS tapes couldn't sell VHS tapes again. Remember, you use the VHS tape to dub content and sell to the consumers. So without the content, the foreign films, then you wouldn't sell the VHS tapes. So we started looking inwards.
Their coalition formally ignited the idea of local content in storytelling, what is today now formally known as Nollywood. Their body of work includes Living in Bondage, Circle of Doom, Betrayal, Evil Passion, Neka the Pretty Serpent, among others.
All these things happened within 2 years, 92, 93. That was all the, when all the jobs were created. And then with that, we had a boom, and we continued selling our VHS tapes, And when others saw that what we were doing was good, and we were ahead of them in disposing the VHS tapes, everybody joined hand, and there was an explosion of Nigerian content.
Ma, I don't want to marry now.
Are
Halima, you are too young to understand. You are young and this is the right time.
The boom came unexpectedly, and the market was largely unprepared for what was to happen next.
It wasn't professionally done because the objective then was to sell the VHS tapes. We continued this until that unprofessional jobs that we were doing were recognized. Our people were proud to see their brothers and sisters on television. And we were also proud to be selling the VHS tapes until the evolution of CDs swallowed the VHS tapes, and we moved into VCD and continued selling, churning out films and making the VCDs, selling. But there is also a transition again to DVD. Nigeria was so comfortable with VCD that they did not change to DVD. Everybody was doing VCD. Even when the Asian merchants phased out the VCD machines, we were still importing them. That when you buy foreign films, if you had noticed, you put it on the Nigerian machine, it will not play because the lens are different. There are a great difference between VCD lens and DVD lens. So the VCD lens cannot pick signals from the DVD. So that was the reason why it was, even till now.
In spite of these array of challenges, the industry grew, and when the nation's GDP was revised, Nollywood contributed significantly to it, even though piracy remained the bane of its existence. However, seeing its potential to grow, the Bank of Industry intervened.
I had to apply for the fund and gave them my business plan, told them what I was to do and how I want to do it. And they looked at the financials and they said, okay, we're going to support you. But I told them that for you to support me, I need some other things. They said, what and what are that? I said, I need DVD plant. If I don't have DVD plant, then I will join them in doing VCD, which is not the dream of the country. It was just last 2 years, 2012, 2013, that the first DVD plant was sponsored by the Bank of Industry through Transab.
Still ahead on BOI Weekly. Transserve becomes one of Africa's leading disc production companies, supported by the Bank of Industry.
In the agricultural sector due to limited processing and preservation capacity. This results in high food prices and food importation with its attendant effects on the nation's foreign reserves. To enable Nigerians optimize the benefits from the country's vast agricultural products such as cassava, oil palm, rice, tomatoes and others, the Bank of Industry has launched a 5 billion naira cottage agro-processing fund, the CAP Fund. Customers can access the fund to establish plans to process our various agro-produce into food products or intermediate raw materials for industries at a single-digit interest rate of 9% per annum. For more information on the CAP Fund, please visit www.boinigeria.com/capfund. Bank of Industry, developing Nigeria's agro-processing industry through the CAP Fund.
Transserve has been in operation as a trading company since 1994 under Transserve Nigeria Limited, engaged in importation and distribution of blank media products including audio and videotapes. As of the year 2000, it controlled over 30% of Nigeria's tape market. The introduction of two novel products, the audio tape in unbreakable poly boxes and audio-video CD duplicating machines, and with the paradigm shift in demand and supply of analog media to digital media, it diversified concentrically into the manufacturing sector with the incorporation of Transserve Disc Technologies Limited, which is also supported by the Bank of Industry.
We approached BOI for financing, and BOI was able also to finance about 3 more CD lines for us. Okay, and then in 2009, we also approached BOI again after the initial finance. The initial finance of BOI was, I think, about 80 million naira. Okay, so in 2009 to 2010, we approached BOI again. This time around, they financed us with about 180 million for acquisition of equipment and another working capital of 120 million. With this expansion that we did in 2010, by 2011, we literally became one of the biggest CD and DVD plants, not only in Nigeria, but also in Africa, with about 14 CD lines and 3 DVD lines, with a capacity to produce about 300,000 CDs a day and about 80,000 DVDs a day. And this is in addition to having our own mastering in-house. That as at today, we can actually manufacture CD or replicate CDs from the beginning to the end in-house. And then the expansion also more than doubled our manpower, that from about 70 personnel or staffs, we're about 185 staffs now in Transap.
Compact disc manufacturing is the process by which commercial compact discs are replicated in mass quantities using a master version created from a source recording. This may be either in audio form or data form. This process is used in the mastering of read-only compact disc and DVDs. The manufacturing of compact disc starts with glass mastering, and it is a process where the master disc content is transferred into a glass substrate known as the glass master in order to manufacture CD, DVD, or Blu-ray disc by injection molding. This process is carried out in a very clean room in order to reduce susceptibility to contaminants.
This is DMS evolution. This is the machine where the glass master has been prepared. Okay. Normally, a job is brought down into a CDR, and CDR is fed into the system here. Okay. The system will now program, okay, and transfer the job into here. This is a fully automatic machine which uses the laser beam recorder to record the glass. You can see them is in the process right now.
During glass mastering, glass is used as a substrate to hold the CD master image while it is created and processed. Glass substrates, noticeably larger than a CD, are round plates of glass approximately 240 millimeters in diameter and 6 millimeters thick.
So after DMS, okay, is complete, this is the output. Okay, the program has been written on the glass. Then the glass is now loaded into galvanic cells. This is how it is further processed. This is a lock ring.
This is the electroforming room, otherwise known as the cleaning room. This is where the substrate or glass is cleaned using detergents and ultrasonic baths in order to remove all forms of contamination. The cleaned metallized master is then clamped in a conductive electrodeposition frame with the data side facing outwards and lowered into an electroforming tank.
The glass has been loaded, okay, and it is into a galvanic cell where the stamper formation will take place. It's called electroforming process, okay, where the nickel pellets will now accumulate on the glass to take the program and image from the glass. We have 6 cells, okay. Each one can take 1 stamper at a time. Each one has a duration of 60 minutes. Okay. So the stamper will be out after 60 minutes. So once the glass master has been loaded into the cell, okay, it will last for the program mentioned here. Okay, this green indication is an duration it will last for. At the moment it is finished, the green indication will go and the cell will blink to open. What will come out of the cell will be something like this. Okay, is a stamper that is ready to punch.
They are then punched to remove the excess nickel from outside and inside the information area in order to fit the mold of the injection molding machine. The physical dimensions of the mold vary depending on the injection tooling being used.
So after the stamper has been produced, punched, okay, and polished, okay, it is put inside the jacket, okay, and this jacket is being transferred to replication for mass production.
This is the replication factory of Transerve Disc Technologies Limited. It has 14 CD machines for mass production. These molding machines are specifically designed high-temperature polycarbonate injection molders. They have an average output of 550 to 900 discs per hour. The basic raw materials needed here is polycarbonate, which is imported into the country. Clear polycarbonate pellets are first dried at around 130 degrees Celsius for 3 hours, depending on which optical grade resin is in use, and are fed via a vacuum transport into one end of the injection molder's barrel and also moved to the injection chamber via a large screw inside the barrel, where it solidifies into a molded disc. The metal tamper is then loaded into the machine for replication.
This is the cooling section from where the substrate will pass under it to make it normal temperature, to bring it down to normal temperature. From there, it will go into the metallizer where a 60 nanometer sputtering layer, okay, aluminum layer will be composited on it for a purpose of the reflective of the laser. This aluminum layer is exposed to oxidation. Okay. It can form oxidation if exposed to environment. So a polymer has been dispensed to form a coating on it. So this is the final product from a replication downline. Okay. From here, the CD is being transferred to printing for offset printing and label printing.
Next is the quality control section.
This is a quality control department where all the produce titles, okay, are brought inside here, okay, and checked in various types of players here. We have all available types of players, okay, to make sure that the CDs and DVDs produced here are playing in all types of player available in the local market. Okay, so any title that is being produced here, we bring back the CDs, play in all of them, and check them whether they are playing well or not.
After which the corresponding titles are then printed.
So right now we are into packaging. This is the final stage of our production process where the replicated and then printed CDs are count in a counting machine. Okay. Each spindle is of 100 CDs. We make sure that the customer gets exactly what the quantity has been ordered for. So after counting, the spindles, okay, are now put on with the shrink films. These shrink films with the spindle along with it are put inside the tunnel, where the tunnel will now shrink wrap the rolls into hundreds. These rolls are now packed into the box, okay, 10 rolls in each box, making 1000 CDs there. From here, the goods have been transferred to the customers.
While efforts like these help put the creative industry on the right track, it is generally believed that the war against piracy is a daily one, not just in Nigeria, but the world over. Gabriel Okoye believes there is more to be done.
We want capacity building, we want film fund for film production, and we want distribution, because the distribution will drive the content. So without proper distribution, we are going home. Even if you give us money for capacity building, we finish training, and we go and make good film. Without a proper distribution, we won't recover our money back. So we are good to, equal to nothing. But one thing they have not addressed is the piracy. The two agencies that are supposed to be regulating are lacking the financial power or the financial muscle. The Copyright Commission, called the NCC, and the Nigerian Film and Video Censors Board, called the Censors Board. They are the major two regulatory agencies for the industry. But if you go to them now, they will tell you no logistics to do everything. Imagine a situation I've identified a piracy den, and they have no logistics to attack the piracy den. I have to go to Ojo Cantonment now to get army to back me up, get the SARS to back me up, so that I can attack the piracy den. The last time they went there, the pirates surrounded their vehicles and set it ablaze at Alabadia in the open daylight, and nothing happened. You have seen the story of Half of a Yellow Sun. The Bank of Industry said, okay, let's come out now and support entertainment industry, and gave her money to produce Half of a Yellow Sun, adapted from Chimamanda Adichie's book. By the time she finished outside, it's already here, everywhere in the streets. When we go to WIPO, World Intellectual Property Conference, you know, what they tell us is, you don't have to speak because you are violating all the conventions signed, all the treaty signed. Nigeria is signatory to all the treaty and convention for piracy. But Nigeria is not observing anyone. What is the cost? There is no enforcement power. So the Bank of Industry are trying to raise up or to sponsor professional filmmakers to go back and start making movies. They are going to assist these filmmakers come back on board, and then they are going to help in the advocacy for a proper regulation. And they have started that work.
That's our program today. Thank you for watching. For more information on suitable funding options from the Bank of Industry, log on to boinigeria.com or visit any of their offices closest to you. I'm Adeshewa Josh.